It began with a bat. A swift arc of wood during a high school baseball game changed the trajectory of James Clear's life forever. The bat collided with his face, fracturing bones and putting him in a medically induced coma. What followed was months of slow recovery, relearning basic movements, regaining strength, and rebuilding his identity. But out of that tragedy came a lesson, a deep, lasting truth. Big transformations are not made in moments. They are made in microscopic movements, atomic habits. Today, Atomic Habits stands as a worldwide bestseller, embraced by leaders, athletes, students, and seekers of change. Why? Because it speaks to a core principle of human nature. We are what we repeatedly do. This is the story of that book, explained not as information, but as transformation. Welcome to 99 Books Studio. Let's begin. Part 1. The Fundamentals. Why Tiny Changes Make a Big Difference. Chapter 1. The 1% Rule. The Surprising Power of Tiny Gains. James tells us that success is not the result of massive action. It's the compound effect of hundreds of small decisions, little 1% improvements made daily. Think about it. If you get 1% better each day for a year, you'll end up 37 times better by the end. Imagine a plane shifting its trajectory by just a few degrees. Over thousands of miles, that tiny change results in a completely different destination. Habits work the same way. Tiny adjustments, over time, produce massive results. Chapter 2. How your habits shape your identity, and vice versa. Clear introduces a crucial insight. Behavior follows identity. Most people focus on goals. I want to run a marathon. But what truly changes you is identity. I am a runner. When your habits reinforce your identity, they become self-sustaining. Each time you act like a healthy person, you become that person. Identity-based habits are the root of transformation. Chapter 3. How to Build Better Habits in 4 Simple Steps. All habits, good or bad, follow a 4-step loop. Chapter 5. The best way to start a new habit. You don't need more motivation. You need clarity. Use implementation intentions. I will, behavior, at, time, in, location. Also, use habit stacking. Attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. Chapter 6. Motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. Clear explains that we often underestimate the power of our surroundings. Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle on your desk. Want to read more? Place a book on your pillow. The key is designing your environment so that the cues for good habits are obvious and cues for bad habits are hidden or eliminated. Chapter 7. The Secret to Self-Control. Self-control is not about inner strength, it's about avoiding temptation. James shares studies showing that people with high self-control actually use it less because they design lives that minimize exposure to temptation. If you don't want to eat junk food, don't keep it in your house. Part 3. The Second Law. Make it attractive. Chapter 8. How to Make a Habit Irresistible. Habits are a dopamine game. Your brain releases dopamine not only when you receive a reward, but when you anticipate it. Use temptation bundling. Link something you enjoy with something you need to do. For example, listen to your favorite podcast only when running. Chapter 9. The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. We mimic the behavior of 3 groups: the close, family, friends; the many, society, culture; the powerful, influencers, authority figures. To change your habits, surround yourself with people who already have the habits you want. Want to be fit? Join a running club. Part 4. The Third Law. Make it easy. Chapter 10. Walk slowly, but never backward. Forget perfection. Focus on repetition. The more you perform a habit, the more automatic it becomes. The goal is to make your habits so small and simple that they're easy to do, even on your worst day. Chapter 11. The Law of Least Effort. We naturally gravitate toward the easiest option. Want to read more? Remove distractions. Want to cook more? Prep ingredients in advance. The more you reduce friction, the easier the habit becomes. Automate what you can. Chapter 12. How to Stop Procrastinating by Using the 2-Minute Rule. Start small, really small. The 2-Minute Rule. We repeat actions that feel good. Make your habits immediately satisfying. Reward yourself with a check mark, a small treat, or even a moment of reflection. The faster the reward, the more the habit sticks. Chapter 15. How to Stick with Good Habits Every Day. Use visual cues like a habit tracker or calendar. Seeing a streak build is satisfying. More important, don't break the chain. If you miss one day, bounce back the next. Never miss twice. Chapter 16. How an accountability partner can change everything. Social pressure helps habits stick. Get an accountability partner or join a public challenge. Knowing someone is watching, even virtually, makes us show up. It's a silent motivator. Part 6. Advanced Tactics. How to Go from Being Good to Great. Chapter 17. The Truth About Talent. When genes matter and when they don't. Genes matter, but playing to your strengths matters more. Choose habits that match your natural tendencies and passions. A night owl shouldn't force 5 a.m. workouts. Work with yourself, not against. Chapter 18. The Goldilocks Rule. How to Stay Motivated. Stay in the sweet spot of challenge. Not too easy, not too hard. This keeps you engaged and avoids boredom or burnout. Clear explains how elite performers train right at the edge of their ability. The Goldilocks Zone. You should too. Chapter 19. The Downside of Creating Good Habits. Habits can lead to complacency. Once something becomes automatic, you stop thinking about how to improve. Combat this by practicing deliberate reflection. Check in on your habits. Refine your systems, and set new standards. Chapter 20. How to Review Your Habits and Make Adjustments. Winners don't just act, they review. Use weekly, monthly, or quarterly reviews to reflect on what's working, identify what's holding you back, adjust your strategy. Review keeps your habits sharp, intentional, and aligned with your values. Conclusion. Tiny changes, remarkable results. The most powerful force in the universe is not a big bang. It's a small shift. A 1% movement in the right direction, repeated daily. Atomic Habits is not just a book. It's a blueprint for becoming the best version of yourself. Not all at once, but piece by piece, bit by bit. One small decision at a time. You are your habits. What you repeat, you become. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep showing up.